This final chapter, Chapter 5, contains 4 quiz questions to test your understanding of the materials covered in this module. Question 1. The par curve for the U.S. government bond market is monotonically downward sloping, with 1-year yields at 8% and 10-year yields at 6%. Which curve lies highest and which lies lowest? Here are the 4 potential answers. Solution to question 1. We reproduce here the diagram from Chapter 2, in which we plotted the 3 curves when the par curve was inverted. As you can see, the par curve in blue lies slightly above the zero coupon curve in reddish purple, and both of these curves lie significantly above the forward curve in green. Thus, the correct answer is B, as in boy. Question 2. The zero coupon curve is inverted, but you believe rates will not drop as much as implied by the forward rates. You should therefore adopt which of the following 4 strategies? Solution to question 2. Since the curve is inverted, short assets and long liabilities would give you initially what is known as positive carry, which means the yield on your assets would exceed that of your liabilities. If rates drop exactly as much as implied by the forwards, your assets would then yield less over time, and your total position would end up breaking even cumulatively, whether you are hedged or not. Since you believe that rates will not decline as much as implied, you expect your assets, even if they yield less over time, to earn you on a cumulative basis more than your longer liabilities are costing you. So you would want to hold this position unhedged. If you were to create this position and then to hedge it with forwards, you would then be guaranteed to only break even. Therefore, the correct answer is B, as in boy. Question 3. Which of the following statements is incorrect? Here are the 4 alternatives, only one of which you can choose as the incorrect one. Solution to question 3. Alternatives A and B were discussed specifically in Chapter 3 and shown to be correct. C is also correct, since if all forwards are realized, the forwards on both sides of your trade will expire exactly at the money, so to speak, so you will neither make nor lose money on either side. Alternative D is incorrect. Even if forwards are always realized, the curve shape would be affected by other considerations, such as liquidity preferences and institutional preferred habitats. Question 4. Which of the following is true with regard to discount factors? Here are the 4 alternatives. Solution to question 4. Alternative A is false. The discount factor for a longer tenor is always smaller than for a shorter tenor, irrespective of the shape of the curve, unless all rates are zero, which they cannot be here since the curve is inverted. Alternative B is also false. No two discount factors can ever be equal unless the yield curve is flat at zero. C is also false. The discount factors you have would not suffice if B is greater than 10. It is alternative D that is correct. If B is less than 10, and therefore A as well is less than 10, since under our notation A is always less than B, you need DFA and DFB to derive a forward, which you have. This brings us to the end of this module.